Hello and welcome to Hughes at 10. It is Tuesday the 20th, I think, of July 2021. And we're well into the summer holidays now. And bloody hell, it's hot. It's really hot. I'm actually wearing a t-shirt in Durham. That's how hot it is. No one could have possibly predicted it would be this hot, except for all the scientists who spent many decades predicting it would be this hot. Pineapple Boy says, evening. I've got John Barleycorn there saying hello. I've got Charlotte over in America saying hello. I've got Mr. Bullion. I've got Paul Hughes. Hello, Paul. How you doing? Great surname, by the way. Got Jeremy Goff saying, hola, Congo time. Because it's the Congo-tastic Graham Hughes hour. Pineapple Boy says, why are these billionaires keep going up, when all these billionaires keep going up in space? Can't they just stay there? Yes. I guess there was a few of us who sort of felt a little bit over the last week or so, like, you know, sort of thinking, if something did go wrong, would it really be that bad? Would it? I think that's why Jeff Bezos took a child on board his spaceship, just so the bad karma going his way wouldn't infiltrate the spaceship, which looked like a massive cock. Funnily enough, Jeff Bezos is a massive cock. It's just bizarre, isn't it? Very Dr. Evil. Anyway, we've got Daffyd is here saying even all. Hello, Daffyd. Your microphone is still working a treat. Thank you very much. Kevin Hegarty, evening all. If Boris was found out to be a nonce, I think the level of corruption right now in the UK government might actually downplay it and do a payoff like what Michael Jackson did. Well, yeah, I'm sure they would. The man could get away with absolutely anything. Absolutely sodding anything. Duke Vengeance, the weather is feeding of my rage. Another feeling, mate. Another feeling. Charlotte says it's been very hot here also, over in the States. John Barleycorn says my house is 30.9 degrees C. Too hot in summer, too cold in winter. Climate change. 36 degree in Malaga, Graham, Spain. Weather is hotter than Durham. Yes, it is. But then again, it is Spain, and people go to Spain for the sun. People do not come to Durham for the sun. If they did, they will be sorely disappointed. Jeff's spacecraft, if you look at it from the front, has a sad face where the door of it is. Well, maybe so. Okay, so in the news today, Dominic Cummings did a tell-all interview with his fellow privately educated gobshite. What's the name? Laura Kunzberg. Emphasis on the first syllable, as always. Laura Kunzberg. Privately educated Laura Kunzberg interviewed the privately educated Dominic Cummings, in which he laid bare all the failings of the privately educated Prime Minister that we have, Boris de Piffle Johnson. Alexander Boris de Piffle Johnson, to give him his full name, rank, title, and member of Parliament. Anyway, so yes, and basically he wanted to reshape the British government system in his image. This is what Cummings wanted to do. This sounds like something out of an Adam Curtis, also privately educated, documentary, doesn't it? He sought to reshape the way we looked at the Middle East. He sought to reshape the way we fed our children. They sought to reshape the way we saw the world. So that's what he wanted to do. And he did very well. And he said, yeah, lied about a load of money going to the EU, and that just drove all the Remainers mad. It was a big lie. Because membership of the EU didn't cost us anything. Didn't cost us a dirty cent. You can work out how much it cost in terms of how much we paid to be in the single market, in the customs union, a part of the EU, a senior partner in the EU. And then you had to take away the amount of money that being in the EU made the country every fucking week. Okay? So if you take away number one, which is to 300 million, let's say. That's a bit higher than it was, but let's say 300 million. Take 300 million, and you need to take away 2,000 million or 2 billion. And you're left with the sum total of 1,700 million or 1.7 billion a week for being part of the EU. Pretty good deal. Then we had loads more money to spend on the war on drugs. Evening, G. As hot as it is, windows open, fan on, etc. Bloody Garson comes alive at night. Sundowners, man. So sick of the sirens. Yeah. I mean, but the thing about Liverpool is you get like more south and it gets more posh. You get more posh, but then you get past Woolton and then it goes off again and starts a new batch. And unfortunately for Garston, it's kind of in the north of another bad batch. You've got Garston, you've got Speke, you've got Widnes and Runcorn. Bless them. They're lovely places. There's a place in Runcorn called Murdershaw. No, seriously, nice. If you ever bought the second album by the Arctic Monkeys, Favourite Worst Nightmare, it had a house on the front, the inside of which had been daubed with graffiti. And then in the inside of the record or the CD, you would see pictures of the house and the front and the back, with the front and the back taken off so you could see all the graffiti inside. And that was actually a physical project. It was an art project that was actually done in Garston in Liverpool. And I was part of it, not part of the art. I just filmed it all, did an interview with the Arctic Monkeys, and then took a sledgehammer to the front of the house, which is the most fun bit because the builders were only paid to take off the back. And they were like, what, you want to take off the front as well? Is it like, yeah, that's what they... I wasn't organising it, don't blame me. And so they were like, oh, fuck that. We're not doing that. And walked off. And they said, there's a sledgehammer there if you want to have a go, mate. And I'm like, is it all trussed up, yeah? They're like, yeah, no problem. We've got these things. We've got the supports in. If you want to take the front off, you be my guest. I've always wanted to smash a house down with a sledgehammer. Gah! Especially those 1970s houses that were built out of breeze blocks with tiles on the front that made them look like brick, but like giant oversized bricks, bigger than you would actually ever have a brick, which made them look like they were made out of Lego. It wasn't very cool. They also had front doors where you open the front door and you couldn't see out the front door. You would be hit with straight away with another building, a little building in front of you in which you kept your bin. Yeah. So you walk out your front door to the width of your bins and you wouldn't get any light coming in through the front door because it'd be covered up by this bit where, honestly, they knocked the whole thing down. They knocked the whole estate down. It was under the gasworks. If you go down into Garston and you go under the road, that goes to, off to, I was going to say Ford then, off to the Jaguar plant and the airport and everything. You go under that and then there's the big odometer. No, that's the thing that odometer. No, odometer. The big gas thing that used to have gas inside it. Maybe still does. Maybe it helps regulate the pressure. I don't know. But they bulldozed the whole estate. They just took it all down because it was so badly built. And something I go on about a lot is the lack of future planning in what we build and what we've built since the war. There's been no future planning. It's been no like, oh my God, what's this going to look like in 30 years' time? Is it going to look like a big crock of shite to make everyone depressed? Is it going to be full of asbestos, which kills you? Or is it going to be full of Legionnaire's disease, which kills people? Is it going to be full of concrete, which is crap metal material to make things out of because the metal inside it invariably expands 7 times its normal size when it gets wet. And concrete is supposed to not get wet inside, but it always fucking does. It's a bit like flat roofs. They're supposed not to leak, but they always freaking do. That's why since the days we were in mud huts 10,000 years ago, we built pitched roofs. There's a reason for that. Dutch Uncle says, businesses pay more in red tape now. Thank you very much for the super chat, Dutch Uncle. €5 and 49 pence. I just sort of went off on one there. Nothing to do with what we were talking about at all, but someone mentioned Garston. I thought I'd tell you an interesting story. You hear them every night near you. Yes. not here in Durham. We live in a village. It's very quiet, except for the occasional car crash. Hello, sorry I'm late, says Chris Nil. I'm saying car crash because it's a 60 mile an hour road until it gets to the corner before our house, and it goes down to 30 miles an hour, and there's a load of parked cars, and it's a bus route. And so we have a car crash every couple of months, like right outside our house. And you think, hey, Mr. Council, or Mrs. Council, or Ms. Council people, how about you put some traffic calming measures in to our village, Hey? But they never reply to my emails, unfortunately. The first Arctic Monkeys was an Ashtray who were involved in that. No, the first Arctic Monkeys album was a guy with a cigarette, and that photo was actually taken downstairs at the Corova bar in Liverpool, which is one of the coolest bars ever. It's named after the Corova Milk Bar in Clockwork Orange, and the guy who used to run the band nights was called Revo, and it was boss. It was absolutely boss. I saw CSS in there, the Brazilian group CSS. Oh, that was a sweat fest. Also saw Hot Club de Paris in there. I saw Quentin Tarantino was in there, but I missed him. Damn. I recommended that he went there, and then I had to go to hospital the next day for an operation, and I couldn't get out in time, and I got a message off one of my mates saying, "You'll never guess who's in the Corova, sorry." And I was like, "Is it Quentin Tarantino?" She's like, "Yeah, it's Quentin Tarantino." And I'm like, because I met him in Liverpool, and he said, "Where's good to go?" I said, "Well, you can go to the Cavern just for a photo, but it's not a good place to have a drink. Go to the Corova." When he was promoting his movie Death Proof, which wasn't very good, but still cool. Got to meet Quentin Tarantino. Boss. Anyway, I don't know why I was talking about the Corova, but yes, that picture was taken downstairs by my mate Scott. In fact, Pedro Maverick, I was there, with you. It's Peter Crosby, dude. Oh, hi, Pedro, how you doing, mate? Was there with Scott, who I just mentioned. I scored weed for the band and got pizza from the Pizza Hut in Speak. The van opened like Cheech and Chong. Pizza delivered. Oh, it's good to hear from you, Pete. I didn't know you watched these. That's brilliant. Yeah, we fucking hell. Done with the days. I'm going to get all nostalgic now. Don't forget, remember when is the lowest form of conversation, according to Tony Soprano. Remember when he said that? Oh, damn, I've done it again. Yeah, great times. Fast times in Liverpool town. Duke Vengeance, the cursed dukedom has declared war on Epsilon 5 and also the cult of Fiffle. The cult of Fiffle, which is obviously Fiffle, the Johnson mayonnaise, bolshy, gobshite, blonde twat. What's his name? Johnson. That's the one. Johnson. Run Corn, twinned with Lee Corn. Sorry, couldn't resist. Very good. I like that. Chubai says, gasometer. They went up and down due to the storage of gas. That's very true. Good evening, all. Went to school with Revo. Top bloke. Another one of our mates who's been absolutely screwed over by this whole fucking pandemic and the fact that the government has just decided to screw everyone over instead of looking after people. And it's just horrific. It is absolutely horrific what it's done to the live music sector, what it's done to the entertainment sector, but then again, we've also got Brexit. What's that done to the live music sector? Well, I'll tell you what it's done. If you want to go and play in your band in France now, that's fine. You have to get work permits for every band member and your roadies and anyone, hangers-on or whatever. Anyone working, getting paid for those gigs in France and taking money off French people for the gig have to get work permits. So if you're just doing gigs around France, well, maybe that's all right. But if you're trying to do gigs around Europe, you would have to get separate work permits for every single person in your crew traveling with you, including the person driving the truck, right? Driving the bus, and all the instruments have to be declared and all that in every single country in the EU. So it's not just France, it's Belgium, it's Holland, it's Luxembourg, Germany, Spain, Portugal, Switzerland. There used to be a deal, and we could play in Switzerland. It was fine, and now that we can't do that anymore. But we can play in Liechtenstein, which is great. Because we've got a deal with Liechtenstein. Yay! Which everyone's very excited about. Only about 70,000 people live in Liechtenstein. And there are more companies registered in Liechtenstein than there are people. Not many people live there. It's the only country in the world that's named after the ruling royal family who are still alive. There's some countries named after people. Obviously, America being one. China being another. Trying to think of another place. Tasmania. It's not a country. But yeah, there are a lot of cases of countries being named after a specific person. Philippines. After King Philip of Spain. No, hang on. That doesn't make any sense. Oh, yeah, it does, actually. Yeah. I was going to say, wasn't it the Portuguese who found the Philippines? It was, I think. I think they were the first there when Magellan went around the world and he crossed the Pacific, which is the hard bit. And then he died on the final strait. Well, he didn't, not in the final strait. He died in the straits of the Philippines because he got an argument with the local chief, and the local chief chopped his head off. And it wasn't Magellan who circumnavigated the world. It was Magellan's crew who actually first circumnavigated the world. But it was a Spanish colony for many years, so they gave the Philippines Catholicism and a sense of guilt about everything. And and then the Americans came along and effectively made it into a colony in the 20th century and gave them guns. Catholicism and guns. And the people of the Philippines are like, thank you, fuckers. Rhodesia, yes, there you go. Saudi Arabia, yep, named after the Saud royal family. Good evening, Liechtenstein. Let's make some noise. Woo! It's a big empty space. There's just, you can imagine, like there's just like desks with a little label on it saying the name of a company that's registered. Silence. The Liechtenstein national anthem has a nice tune to it. Oh, that's good. Bolivia, yes, named after Simon Bolivar, Billy Balls, Bolivar, who was the the liberator of South America. And he made a country called Gran Colombia, I think, which I think encompassed what's now Colombia, Venezuela, Ecuador, Peru, and Bolivia, maybe even Chile. But that fell apart pretty quickly. Colombia, named after Columbus. Brexiteer Dickinson from Iron Maiden moaning about it was well worth watching. Yeah, you could see the penny drop in his head as he was talking, don't you? Butchering requires efforts. Boris is no butcher. Boris is a chancer. The bodies fall. He's still failed, just a failed chancer. Yeah, but look, a skilled executioner wouldn't be a butcher, would they? A rubbish executioner who's half drunk, who had to hack away at the head a few times, that would be butchery, wouldn't it? You'd go, that he completely butchered that execution. So it's not like, to use the term butcher, you have to say they're skilled in being a professional butcher, because we use the term butchers for other things as well. Like, have a butchers means have a look at something. Have a bit of crafty butchers means it's my mum watching. I don't know. It means taking the meat from the pack. Not to put too fine a point on it. So yeah, crops up in other bits of idioms in our language. I wouldn't worry about it. Jeremy Clarkson had the same problem with one of his houses. Jeremy Clarkson, also privately educated. The speed limit changed just before his house, and he I think, lived on a corner, and a few cars crashed into his garden. Yep. Rhodesia, Saudi Arabia. John Barleycorn says also means that someone from outside Europe who's touring EU countries has to do twice as much paperwork if they want to tour the UK. Possibly they may decide not to bother coming here. Yeah, indeed. Graham says, Uli Kalude, take away your citizens' freedoms, especially their ability to escape your regime, and you've got them under total control. I know, that's why Scotland is looking very attractive these days. But you know what? I'm really, the more this goes on, the more I'm just thinking, right, push for Scottish independence, and as soon as they get independence, right, I go back to Liverpool and start agitating for like Liverpool to secede from the Union. Yes, we seceded where others failed, and set up the People's Republic of Liverpool. Come on, we can do this. We can do this. We'll pay our councillors, and they'll have to take like competency tests, and they'll have to make sure they're not fucking corrupt. Wouldn't that be nice, eh? Not having corrupt councillors in Liverpool City Council. They'll like that. That'd be great. Stop giving jobs to your mates, you fuckwits. Absolutely, mate. When I worked in the shipping forecast, Revo, aka Steve Miller, would put on amazing gigs. Seen Michael Kiwanuna for free one time. A highlight. I hope Revo is well, dude. I last saw Revo at, what was it? It was I want to say that it was a gig. I want to say that it was like African Oye, but in Sefton Park, but I don't think it was. I think it was a food festival. I think it was a Liverpool food festival. It just happened to be behind me in the queue. Bolivia Newton-John says, David, isn't Liechtenstein's anthem the same tune as God Save the Queen? Oh, God. I hope not. That's the right funeral fucking dirge. It turns out the trade deal with Latvia anchors the UK to the EU. They never removed the EU from the copy trade deal, and they signed it. The UK said this deal would be given special attention. Latvia's part of the EU. What are you talking about? You mean Lithuania? No, that's part of the EU as well. No, Liechtenstein. God, all these L's gets very confusing. Isle of Wight, named after a chemist. Oh, that's interesting. Well, there's lots and lots of towns and cities that are named after people, but countries, that's kind of a big deal, isn't it? Just trying to think off the top of my head. Well, we said the United States of America, so that's America. Mexico, I don't think that's named after a person. I think that was named after something to do with the Aztecs. Guatemala, no. Bolivia means muddy water. Muddy waters. Just like Liverpool means muddy waters as well. It's a true story. San Salvador, yeah, that's named after someone. Saint Salvador. So yeah, El Salvador. I mean, actually, it's named after Jesus, isn't it? Because it's the El Salvador. Isn't it the Salvator? I don't know. Nicaragua. That's just the name of the lake in it. Nicar, and then agua is water. So yeah, Nicar water. Nice. Honduras, now that just comes from the same root as maybe Bahamas. Does Honduras mean shallow waters in a language? I don't know. Panama, I've forgotten what Panama meant. There is a reason why it's called Panama, which has been lost in the midst of time. No, in my mind, but there is a good reason for it, but it's not named after a person, I don't think. But yeah, Bolivia is, Colombia is, Argentina's silver. Brazil. Yeah, why is it called Brazil? That's an interesting one. I should have looked that up when I did my Hughes the World on Brazil. I'm off to Pimlico. Berwick upon Tweed, didn't it? Yes. Made it the independent nation of Berwick upon Tweed. There is more than one company that can supply all materials, roadies, etc., whatever a band needs to tour the EU. Really, no need to use a UK-based company. Yeah, Dutch uncle, exactly. There is a small push for Northern English independence. I don't want them, mate. I don't want them. I don't want Sunderland. I don't want the fucking monkey hangers of fucking Hartlepool. I don't want them in my country. I'll just do without. Thanks very much. I mean, thanks for thinking of us and everything, but fuck off. Don't let the door hit your ass on the way out. People in Grimsby, people in Hull, people in Scunthorpe. Nah, bye, see ya. Couldn't give a shit. People in Clitheroe. Who put the clit in Clitheroe? Who put the cunt in Scunthorpe? Who put the twat in WeightWatchers.com? That's a song I just made up. I don't want them. You can keep them. Sorry. Maybe if you want to have a Northern England country like North Macedonia or North Korea, that's fine with me, but I don't think that Liverpool should be part of it. Liverpool's always been a bit different. It's always done things a bit differently. I feel. I know I'm biased. I'm really fucking biased. I shouldn't even be talking about this. There's no impartiality coming from me here. I just think that Liverpool's the best city in the world, and eventually it made the best country in the world because it would be a city-state that everyone would want to visit because it's awesome. Got an email from Labour titled LGBT plus members taster event. Ooh, that sounds tasty. Bernard Hurley says it's called Brazil because that's where the nuts come from. Brazil's named after the nuts. That's really interesting. I wish I'd looked that up when I was doing my talk about Brazil because that's interesting. Graham bidding for the freedom of Hartlepool there. Fuck 'em. Fucking monkey-headed. Barbados. Barbados is the bearded ones, so it's named after the beards. It might have been people had beards. Or it might have been that the catkins or something on the mangrove roots look like beards or something. So that's the bearded isle. You can imagine a pirate saying, "Going to the bearded isle," and actually meaning Barbados. Okay, St. Lucia, that's named after a saint. St. Vincent and the Grenadines, named after a 50s doo-wop band. You've got St. Lucia, St. Vincent, Dominica, which is named after Sunday, so that's not, no, Dominican Republic, named after Sunday. Antigua and Barbuda, no, Barbuda is the same route as Barbados, so again, it's about beards, not about people's names. Trinidad and Tobago is named after tobacco because it looks like a cigar. True story. And Trinidad is the Trinity. It's the Spanish for Trinity. It's Trinidad. You see a lot of words that end in ity in English will end in idad. Idad in Spanish. It'll be exactly the same word, almost. So universidad instead of university, or ciudad instead of city. It's kind of cool because you can go, I know what that word is. It's just an English word that ends in ity. It ends in idad. That's like an I thing from Apple that like projects a father figure that tells you off for not eating your greens. Anyway, So then, okay, so Europe, I think Liechtenstein is named after someone. France, Germany isn't, Belgium isn't, Holland isn't, Netherlands, Denmark, Norway, Iceland, Cyprus, Malta, no, Italy, San Marino. There you go, it's named after the Saint Marino. Vatican City, no, Monaco, no, Andorra, I don't think Andorra's named after Spain or Portugal aren't. What about the Balkans, like Kosovo? No, Serbia, Croatia, Montenegro, Macedonia, Romania, and named after the Romans, I guess. Always Roman about the Romans. Greece, Bulgaria, Uncle Bulgaria. There you go. Bulgaria is named after the Womble, Uncle Bulgaria. Ovs. That's right. It's called Bulgaria. Let me think. Czech Republic, Slovakia, Slovenia, Hungary. Oh, yeah. No, because it was the Huns, wasn't it? Like Attila the Hun. Okay, so not there. Latvia, Lithuania, Estonia, Norway, Sweden, Finland, Denmark. No. Russia. No. Belarus. No. Ukraine. No. Georgia. Georgia is named after St. George. That's why that flag is the flag of St. George with extra little St. George's flags on it, crosses on it, because it would have been the same as England otherwise. So Georgia's named after a person. Turkey isn't. Iran, Iraq, no. Saudi Arabia was said. Qatar isn't. Bahrain isn't. Oman, no. Yemen. No, I'm not going to go through every country in Africa because it'll take too long. But can't think of any off the top of my head that are named after people. Someone's going to tell me in the chat now. San Marino, says Darian. Yes, Bermuda is named after a sailor. Ooh. Badajoz means what? I don't know. Brazil appears to come from the Portuguese name of a tree, according to Wikipedia. Oh, cool. Marshall Islands, named after John Marshall, indeed. So there's probably quite a few, because there's a Sandwich Islands, wasn't there? Which is what Hawaii used to be known as. There's a Friendly Islands. That wasn't named after Mr. Friendly, although the Sandwich Islands were named after Lord Sandwich. But yeah, that was Tonga, was the Friendly Islands. Fiji was it always Fiji? What was the Society Islands? And it was the Gilbert Islands, Kiribati. So they were named after a person, but now they're called Kiribati, so they're not. Tuvalu, I forgot what Tuvalu was, right before it was Tuvalu. That's terrible. New Caledonia is named after Scotland, which isn't a person. In fact, the only state capital in Australia that's not named after a person is Perth, because it's named after the Scottish city of Perth. All the rest of them are named after people. Yeah. Thailand? No. Laos? No, I don't think so. Cambodia, Vietnam. China. Yeah, China's definitely named after someone. It's named after the first emperor, Qi. Are you going to range about Domcom? I don't know, mate. I don't know. Moons and planets next. Constellations. Okay, so Andromeda is a galaxy, but it's also a constellation, isn't it? Then you've got Aquarius, the water carrier. You've got Ara, the altar. You've got what the A's are there? Is it Altar? No, Altar's a star. But you can do the zodiac pretty quick. But then you've also got the Southern Cross. But there's no Northern Cross, but there's a Northern Crown, Corona Borealis, and the Corona Australis, or something like that. You've got the Southern Fish, and you've got Pisces. You've got 88 constellations. It'll take a while to go through them all. But there's some good ones. Sculptor, which is the shield. You've got Pictor, I think, which is the picture, or the painter. You've got Scutum. Sorry, Scutum's the shield, isn't it? Sculptor is a sculpture. Is a sculptor, like someone who sculpts. Or a sculpture. I don't know, one of the two. It's all in Latin. Mensa, the table. Norma, there's a constellation called Norma. That's kind of boring, isn't it? You got Orion, obviously the hunter, who's there. And if you find Orion, you can find some stars around it. So he's got he's standing on top of Lepus, the rabbit, and he's just got to the bottom left of him is his dog, which is called Canis Major, and there's also Canis Minor, which is quite close. And the brighter star of Canis Major is the dog star. It's a dog star, so Sirius. As in, you can't be serious. I am serious, and don't call me Shirley. And then above him, he's being attacked. He's supposed to be wrestling Taurus, so you can see Taurus, and it's Red Eye, which is Aldebaran. which is a big red giant star, actually. And then over to his left, as you're looking at him, so on his left as you're looking at him, you'll see two stars that are very, very, very similar, and that's Castor and Pollux. Is it Castor and Pollux? I think so. And they're the twins. They're Gemini, which are quite close. So you can, they're all, thereabouts. What's really cool about Ginger Island is it's so close. It's my island that I have in the Caribbean that I won in the game show, which I'm going back to in September. More about that later. It's when you're standing out on the boat dock throughout the night. Obviously, the star's well round. It's really close to the equator, so you can see the North Star over town, over Bocas del Toro, directly north, and that's 9 degrees north of from the horizon. Sorry, it's 9 degrees from the horizon. That's how you know where you are in the world. Measure the distance from the horizon to the North Star, and you can work it out. All the other stars go around that, and then if you turn around at certain times of the night, you can see the Southern Cross. At the back end of the islands, you can see the Southern Cross as well. So you can see the North Star and the Southern Cross, because the Southern Cross is quite a bit distant from the actual Southern Pole. There's no star in the Southern Pole, like the North Star that all the other stars go around. There's no star like that in the Southern Hemisphere. So what you have to do, find the Southern Cross, which is pretty easy to do, and then you count like 3 down from it, like 3 lengths of the long bit of it, and then you go straight down from there, and that should be south. Thereabouts. But if you're heading towards the Southern Cross, you're probably heading south. When I was sailing, it was quite good to use the stars, and it didn't take any particular skill or anything. It was just that if you knew that was a constellation and that you wanted it on that side of you, you kept it on that side of you. Unfortunately, the constellations tend to move as the night goes on. So halfway through the night, you might find that it should be on that side of you. And if it's still on the wrong side, you're actually going in the wrong direction. So you need to watch out for that. But generally speaking, if you're going west or east, the stars are not going to be on the other side of you, because if you think about it, you're basically you're looking that way, you're looking at the Southern Hemisphere, looking that way, you're looking at the Northern Hemisphere if you're heading west. Magellanic clouds are named after Ferdinand Magellan. That's pretty big. That's pretty cool. They're the little puffy clouds that are not Milky Way. And actually, galaxy means Milky Way. From as in lactic acid, as in lactate, milk. So we call it the Milky Way galaxy. We call it the Milky Way. And all the other things are called Milky Ways, which is a really weird name for something. It's going to be a bit embarrassing when someone comes to Earth in it. And so what do you call these things? Well, this is Earth. And what do you call that soil on the ground? We call that Earth as well. Do you call dirt and Earth? That's the same. Yeah. Okay. And then what are the names you got for it? Terror. Okay, what else does that mean? It means like terrorizing people and like freaking them out. Okay, that's great. And what do you call the part of the universe that you're in? What do you call your galaxy? We call it the Milky Way. The Milky Way. Really? You call it that's the most stupid name I could possibly... Did a child come up with that? What's wrong with you people? And then he gets away in the spaceship and flies away. What are the most beautiful nights like on your island? How clear are the stars? HK, when it's a clear night, they are absolutely phenomenal. Absolutely phenomenal. Get a sun lounger out, moon lounger, whatever you want to call it. Lay back and just look up at the stars as they wheel around you. And they do wheel around you because you're so close to the equator. So they'll rise in the east and come over to the west. It's really, really cool. Yeah, super, super clear. There's not many city lights around. Bocas town has got some light pollution, but not enough to obscure the North Star, which is just above it. So I can still see that. But that's the only light pollution around. Everywhere else, there's just nothing. And if you turn all the lights off, it's bloody dark. But on the island, I've got loads of lights. We've got fireflies, so they make light. We've got these crabs with like one big pincer. I call them wanker crabs. That's not the real name, but they have like one big pincer and then like one little tiny pincer. And I think they're mud crabs or something. And they sparkle in the grass. You can see them sparkling. So there's little lights in the grass. You're like, oh, what different. And also in the water, there's bioluminescence. So if you swim in the water in the boat dock around the main boat dock, there's a little bay that's almost entirely encircled with mangroves, and you can swim in there at night and you sparkle like a fucking wizard. It's so cool. And just on dark nights, you can put your feet in the water, splash them about, and see all the bioluminescence going off effectively, which is really cool. So you can have a good night. You can have the stars in the sky, stars in the water, stars in the grass, stars everywhere. Stars fly, little yellow stars flying through the mangroves. The little fireflies. It's really quite magical. Yovosh, thank you very much. €5 super chat, buttering me up. There's a theory that every race will name its home world a variation of Earth or water, etc. Home or mother. Yeah, that's probably. Yeah, I think so. HK says, absolutely awesome, Graham. Thank you. Yes, the island is. We're going to take you there. We're going to take you there. So after the show yesterday, we're having a discussion about what we're going to do on Ginger Island. I'm sorry I haven't talked about Dominic Cummings, but you know what? I'm enjoying talking about this a lot more. I'm sorry, but I like talking about countries. I like talking about the stars. I like talking about Ginger Island. I like talking about travel. And I'm going to Ginger Island in September. So this is what you get. This is just what you get. I'm sorry to anyone who's been waiting since 1 today to go. I can't wait to see Graham pull his hair out over Dominic Cummings' latest revelations. They're not revelations. We already knew all this shit. And the problem is, people don't care. People don't care. And so we'll never win. We'll never win. Our best option is to run away. Went away to Scotland, declare an independent state. Anyway, so we were talking about Ginger Island on the Discord chat last night. Some really good ideas came out of it. One of which is to we were going to do live shows from 4 to 5 every day and then head over to the Discord server. And we were talking about that last night. And I was basically told, that's really stupid, Graham. Why would you do that when you could just broadcast live all day? And I'm like, actually, yeah, we could. So the plan is, as is, obviously, this is dependent on the weather and internet and, technical difficulties. But we're going to try and stream as much of what Marcus and I do on the island as possible. So we will start in the morning and we will just keep streaming, eating our lunch, fixing things, putting together a table, putting in new railings for the new banisters for the stairs, putting in the toilet, putting in the septic tank, putting in new solar panels, fixing the boat up, digging for vegetables, trying to drill into a bloody coconut. Anything that we're doing on a particular day, we're going to stream live as much as humanly possible, and it's going to be called Ginger Vision. Yeah, I didn't come up with that. It's not copyright me, but I'm going to take it because I can. So Ginger Vision, and then at 4 o'clock we're going to have Ginger Island live, and that's going to be the live show. So I've been talking to some people today about what we can do to make it a bit more exciting for people. And one of the big things that we can do is competitions. So we're going to be doing competitions every single freaking day. And if you win the competition, you'll be able to come on the show with us the next day. And we're going to be having themed... Marcus doesn't know any of this, by the way. We're just like discussion. So Marcus, this is what we're doing. And also we're going to have themed weeks probably. So we'll have Shark Week, Pirate Week, we'll have Castaway Week and stuff. And if you're going to take part in the show, we're going to ask that you actually get dressed up as whatever week it is. We might even do a Lost Week and make our own smoke monster to chase people around. So yes, anyway, so Scotland free, yes, that calls for time-lapse camera. It does indeed. Phil Spicer, isn't Dominican Republic named after the Dominican Christians? I thought there was a branch of Catholicism that believes in the Holy Trinity. God is Jesus, God and the Spirit simultaneously, possibly misunderstood. I don't know, but Domingo is Spanish for Sunday, isn't it? So I'm guessing the root of Domingo, Dominican Republic, Domino's, which is played in Santo Domingo, the capital of the Dominican Republic. So if you go to Dominican Republic, you can go to Santo Domingo and you can play Domino's on Domingo, which is the, Sunday. Best Geordie accent. Day 5. No, I'm going to try it. Day 5 on the Ginger Island house. Graham is drilling into a coconut. That wasn't even an accent. That was just me talking. Yes. What I used to do, and this is quite a little for me, is when people come to the island, especially if someone's being a bit like alpha male-ish, I will give them a machete and say, here you go. Here's a machete. Here's a coconut. Go nuts, and just watch them for half an hour in the baking heat, hunched over, twatting this coconut with a machete and not getting anywhere. And then after half an hour, I say, it's all right, mate. Pull out my cordless Black & Decker drill and just drill a hole into it, drain the milk out. There you go. Not the milk, the water, sorry. You get the milk. You don't get the milk. When you drill into coconut, you get coconut water, which is great to mix with ice and rum. fantastic. But if you want the milk, you need quite a few coconuts, and you need to basically grind the white stuff. You know, the white stuff that you get in the panty bars. You need to grind that up, put it in a bag, and squish the bag. When by a bag, I mean a cotton bag, or like a cloth bag, and then you squeeze it, and the coconut milk will come out, and that'll be delicious. Put that in the fridge. It's all good. There's also a coconut farm. There's 2 coconut farms around the corner from Ginger Island, actually, and little coconut farms that sell. Chocolate farms. It's 2 chocolate farms by Ginger Island, and they sell all kinds of chocolate goodies, which is great, and it's pure chocolate. This is 100% chocolate. And they make a liqueur that you can... well, they don't make the liqueur. You basically buy the... shit, I've forgotten what you buy to go with it. But essentially, you use their chocolate to make your own Baileys. And what you need is... you need condensed milk. You know the milk you get in the little cans, and it's really sticky and thick, yeah? You need that. You need... chocolate, local chocolate, and maybe rum. I want to say rum. I'm not sure. I think it was rum. I don't know. And then you put it in the fridge overnight, and the next day you've got Baileys. You've got homemade Baileys. Absolutely awesome. Is Craig from Big Brother available? I hope so. He's a scouser, isn't he? He knows how to build things. Graham, I have my coconut Wonderbra here for you. Just kissing down. Wonderbra. I don't know. Yeah. I don't know if that was the best name, but if I was going to have a magical bra, wouldn't it be called Abracababra? I mean, am I the only one who thought of that? I mean, surely someone's made an abracadabra. It's a bit hard to say, though, isn't it? So, maybe not. Marcus has just discovered that his every move has been filmed and streamed on the internet. He's not happy. Indeed. I'm voting for live shark wrestling. Yeah, okay, we've got a couple of nurse sharks who live on the reef, but they're only about this big, so I don't think they're going to be too hard to wrestle. Oh, we could give it a go. Graham for Ginger Island. Get a Starlink connection, satellite broadband, £99 per month. For 100 megabytes per second down, 20 megabits per second up, unlimited, basically, wireless fiber, should have coverage there. I was going to go for a local setup for the internet, because we get faster speeds for that, because we're line of sight of town. They can transmit from town straight to the island, and we have a receiving dish on the island to pick it up, and it'll be super fast. But I'll look into the Starlink connection. Actually, I'll make a note of that. Someone just said it. By Starlight. Internet. Sorry, I'm just making a note. Oh, God. Yummers. Add some cardamom pod, cinnamon, and tea, and you're the best, spiciest tea ever. Oh, mate. So one of the other drinks that I want to create while I'm over there, something that I used to do, was called a boccaccino. No one was on board with this, but it was Panama coffee, which is quite hard to get, because most of the coffee that you get in Panama actually comes from Costa Rica. But you get Panama coffee, you get chocolate from the chocolate farm, or one of the chocolate farms, and pure chocolate, and you also get coconut milk, coconut milk from your own coconuts, and you put them all together, and you have a coconut flavored chocolate coffee drink, which is called a boccaccino, because it's Boca del Toro, so boccaccino. Instead of a mochaccino, it's a boccaccino. Stay with me there. I prefer white mankini or coconut wonder bra and Hawaiian skirt. Yeah, coconut bra, always the way to do it. It's a bit uncomfortable, though, I have to say. Spelling International. I'm no fan of Cummings. This is some people are trying to drag me back on. Graham, talk about politics. I'm sick of talking about fucking politics. I'm no fan of Cummings, but even if 5% of what he said is true, Alexander Boris the Piffle Johnson has to go. L33, I think he's had to go for a very fucking long time. The guy is an absolute monumental clusterfuck of a human being. He is a twat beyond compare in the modern world, and there are a lot of people in competition with him, and he is in charge of this country, and he is driving it into the ground, morally, ethically, spiritually, and economically. I think that's why I said economically twice there, but whatever. He is destroying this country, and his knobhead supporters, his fucking cheerleaders are like, yeah, brilliant, Boris, clapping like bloody circus seals. It's so cool, it's amazing. And they're so thick, they go on anti-lockdown protests. once lockdown has been lifted, it's just like going on an anti-war protest the day after peace is declared, and you're like, you're a bit late. But I'd already printed the flyers. Oh, Jesus. Boris the liar had to go before he even arrived, says John Barleycorn. I don't know if he talks like that, but yeah, I assume he does. Duke says he's killed 120,000 plus people. What more does he have to do? I don't know, shit on the Queen. Oh, he's already lied to her, hasn't he? Okay, go back to your waffling now. Thank you very much, L33. Thank you for the permission to go back to my waffling. I've only got 10 minutes left, so if you want to drop a super chat in before I go, then please do, because I'm a very busy person and I need to do some things. And my nephew, who is helping me out building the kids' den, was supposed to come at 11 o'clock after the show. He's actually come an hour early, so it was a bit embarrassing. It was like, all right, Alan, how you doing, mate? Sorry, I've just got to go and do it. Go and do a YouTube show because I said I would. And I'm a man of my word. Right, just to do some housekeeping before I go, what am I going to do about tomorrow? Because I can't do question time. Is it the last? Is it Prime Minister's question time tomorrow? Can someone find out in the chat? Let me know if it's the last Prime Minister's question time tomorrow. I might do a 1 hour show at 12 o'clock, just covering Prime Minister's questions, because if it's the last one before the summer recess, I may as well do it, and I'll just have to shut the doors and hope the kids don't make too much noise. Thank you very much, Phil, for £5, some sterling. Thank you very much, sterling work there from Phil. Super chat into the chat there. We've also got Uncle Boris, haha, pissing nanny, says David. We've got Mark Wotton saying, anyone seen the clips of the reporter from Joe going around Whitehall interviewing those anti-lockdown Berks? Hilarious. No. Okay, Steve saying yes, it's the last one. Okay, here's the ultimatum, right? If I can get right £10 in super chats, £10, that's all I want, £10. You don't have to give the whole £10. You give like £2, and someone else can give a bit of money, whatever. But £10 before the end of this session today, I will do a session tomorrow at 12 o'clock to 1 o'clock covering Prime Minister's questions. Okay, so there's Darian. He's started for 10. He's a starter for a tenner. So I only need £8 now. So if you want to throw that in the pot, please do. Also, I'm gonna head over to Discord in a moment. So I will give you the link for that, and we will discuss things. We will discuss politics and human rights and human wrongs, and possibly some Ginger Island stuff. Let's have a look. Ooh, what's this? No, I'm getting all messages. I don't want messages. I just want to get a link. So, if you haven't been... Oh, Lee Corn, thank you very much. I only need £6 now, and I will be bribed enough money to do a show tomorrow from 12 till 1. Otherwise, the kids are home, so it's difficult for me to do it. But I will. I'll just say, oi, you kids, shut up. Because the room above us is the lounge, you see. So if I'm doing a show, they can't watch TV. But to be honest with you, the weather's lovely outside, so they shouldn't be watching TV. They should be outside playing and doing kid things, obviously. Right. So general chat, invite people. I'm just making an invite. So for those of you who have never been on Discord before, what it is, it's like an old school bulletin board. Remember the bulletin boards that you used to have back in the day? Except it's got Zoom-like capabilities, so you can actually talk on videos and things if you are a member of the Discord team. To become a member, all you have to do is just click on that link, and that'll be awesome. Oh yes, Steve Bradbury, a super chat at $2.99. So that's that's $6.99. With $6.99, we all only need £3 and 1 pence. You've got 5 minutes to throw £3 and 1 pence into the 1 penny. Sorry. Then Jeremy Goff. Oh, we're blowing it out. We're blowing it out the water. Jeremy, you legend. £6. So that's fantastic. So we're taking £13 in total. I will definitely do a show tomorrow from 12 o'clock to 1 o'clock. Quick last show. But it will be the last one of the week, I think. Marius, thank you very much. Another £5. Oh, this has worked out better than I thought it would. I should resort to blackmail more often. But yes, sorry. That'd be sensible, Graham. There'll be my last show tomorrow because I can't do one on Thursday, I can't do one on Friday, I can't do one on Saturday, I can't do one on Sunday, I don't think. So I'll be back next week after that. So and we will catch up. So it's going to be a bit like this over the summer holidays because I don't know where I'm going to be or what I'm going to be doing from one day to the next. And obviously we've got things booked, but who knows what's going to happen with fucking COVID. So if I'm home and I'm here, I will do a show every day as much as I possibly can. I've got this far. Well, I'm only taking a week off all year, so that's pretty good. Oh, wow. I've got Haru, he's number 5, giving $5 US. Thank you. I'd love to hear your thoughts on the Enlightenment -- French Revolution. Okay. What now? Well, the Enlightenment was an amazing time. It was the next Renaissance, wasn't it? Because you had the Renaissance first with Leonardo da Vinci and all that lot, but then the Enlightenment came, and one of my favourite rulers from around that time was Joseph II of Prussia. I think it was Prussia, and he was the patron. I think he was one of the patrons of like Mozart and stuff. I think he was the guy who said that Mozart's music had too many notes in it, which is a brilliant bit of criticism. But I'm a huge fan of Voltaire. Voltaire is one of my favourite historical characters. He is absolutely fucking hilarious. He was nuts. He just didn't give a shit. And he was very, very, very funny. And he's still funny today. If you read his book, Candide, it is still actually funny. It's like laugh out loud funny, even though it was written like 300 years ago. It's quite remarkable. But yeah, that whole period, the 1700s in France, and the idea spread around, the ideas that spread around the world were fantastic. I mean, it all started in the 1600s with the Royal Society in the UK and the Academy of Sciences in Paris. And there was Cassini, who was actually Italian, but he was kind of adopted by the French, who pushed the French scientific enlightenment, and it was Isaac Newton who pushed the English Enlightenment with his friends in the Royal Society, like Robert Hooke and also Edmund Halley, whose Halley's comet was named after, who never actually saw the damn comet. He never saw it. The years he lived, he didn't live in the years that he saw it, I don't think, which is cool. But using his calculations, I think a team went out to St. Helena or Ascension Island, one of those islands where Priti Patel wants to put all of the asylum seekers. They actually went out there to witness this event, or maybe it was a transit of Venus. I don't know. I was in Sri Lanka for the transit of Venus in 2012, and I missed the bloody thing because it was cloudy. Grrr. I spent ages getting like welders goggles and things so we could actually look at the sun, which probably still wouldn't have been a good idea, but Oh wow, we've got more super chats as well. Kevin Hegarty, €5, thank you. Take the money and spend it on the girls. Ignore that Ocelot, lol. Okay, yes. When I first read that, Kevin, I thought it said spend it on girls, and I was like, what would Catherine say? But yeah, you said spend it on the girls. Okay, I'll buy them a Magnum each. John Barleycorn. Next week at what time? I don't know, John. I don't know. Sorry. It'll probably be Monday at 11 o'clock, hopefully. I'll do Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday at 11 o'clock. And then Thursday, I'm going to Scotland. So I might do a special Scottish show from Glasgow on Thursday evening. I don't know, but I'll have to sort that out closer to the time. What about me, says Patrick McCarthy. Thank you very much for the £5, Patrick. Amazing stuff there from everybody. Candide, says Patrick McCarthy. He is intelligent. He is intelligent, isn't it? Says Peter. I think so. Joseph II. He was the Holy Roman Emperor, a Habsburg ruler. He was indeed. Patrick also asked you to wear a mankini for those £5. I'm wearing a mankini under my clothes. I'll have you know. How will the current era of history be called in decades from now? You have industrial and revolutions, Tudor, Stuart eras, Renaissance, Enlightenment. How will our current age be referred to? I've given some thought to this because obviously you have if you look at 20th century, so you had the Victorian era, then leading into the 20th century, then you had the Edwardian era, which was then followed kind of by the interwar periods, kind of in a way, but then you had because you couldn't have another Georgian era because that was before Victoria, and then you had the war, obviously, and then you had the modern era, which was the 50s and 60s. But that was also the space age as well, and the space age is over. The modern era is over, so everything's sort of postmodern now, which is a ridiculous name because how long does that go on for? So, I mean, if you want to just sort of encapsulate big movements in history, I suppose you've got the rise and fall of the Soviet Empire. And then after that, the post-Soviet years, we had this, what I call the long decade from November 1989 to September the 11th, 2001, which was the 90s plus a little bit on either end, when things seemed to be getting gradually better on the surface for a lot of people. Obviously, if you were living in Rwanda, they weren't getting better, but in other places around the world, they were getting better, demonstrably. And then after the attacks on 9/11, we just entered the era of fucking stupidity. An era of absolute fucking stupidity. I think they're going to call it the Homer Simpson era. The era of just doing whatever you think is a good idea, because everyone's a fucking cartoon character and no one can possibly get hurt, and everything will reset itself nicely for the next episode. Unless you happen to be Maud Flanders. Post-truth era, maybe. The dimming or the great heating, indeed. I think that they already named it that, indeed. What will the current queen will be known as the right load of Charlies. When the current queen goes, will be known as the right load of Charlies. Yes, Charlemagne. Love it. Era dough. But yeah, I mean, you have the Eric Hobsbawm, the sort of left-wing historian. He called the 1930s the age of extremes. He called the 1800s the age of industry, I think. So yeah, I think this is the age of stupidity, but it's not just stupidity, it's arrogance. It's this mad arrogance that people have. Like someone telling me to my face that they don't know much. They don't know much about things, but they know better than me about travel or politics or religion or whatever we're fucking talking about. And it's just like, wow. So not only are you admitting that you think that you're stupid, or ignorant, I should say, not stupid, that's a bit unfair, but you're postulating that I am more ignorant than you based on the fact that I've got a degree in history and politics and bothered to get off my arse and visit every motherfucking country in the motherfucking world without motherfucking flying. Something that still no one else has managed to do. There's one guy who's trying it. He says he's done it, but he hasn't finished it yet. I think he's got about 5 countries left to go. Good luck to him, but even when he finishes, it's going to have taken him 8 fucking years, which is twice as long as it took me. So, whatever. But yes, Apparently, Boris wanted to kill the Queen last year with germs. Great people intervened. I'm sure he did. I'll argue that Homer Simpson would actually care enough for his family to get them jabbed and vote for their futures. Remarkable for a Fox character. That's true, but he would have to go through an adventure in order to arrive to that conclusion. Like the episode with John Waters where he found out that gay people were okay, actually. And but in order to realise this, he had to be attacked by mechanical Santas, and John Waters had to come and save his day, save his bacon. I haven't watched GB News. What did Farage say? Oh God, I'm not watching it because I don't want to double the viewing figures. Sounds like you're describing a BBC debate panel, indeed. But Graham, I have great intelligence, says Duke Vanyas. I'm sure you do, Duke. I don't doubt you. I'm just the people who come up to me and say, you might have done all this, and you might be very qualified, and you might know a lot of things, but what you don't realise, and then they quote something from the fucking Daily Mail, and I want to take that Daily Mail, scrunch it up really, really tight, and pop it right up their butt backside. But obviously, I can't do that because that would be a bit of a. It ruined the party. Cummings said that Boris wanted to meet him in person at the height of the pandemic, in person, before it came out he was infected himself. Oh my God. Lee Corn, one of my fave Simpsons episodes, particularly the Steelworks lunchtime. The Steelworkers of America. Yeah, that was a good one, wasn't it? Charlemagne's second marriage was the first recorded marriage in a Catholic Christian church. Oh, that's really interesting. His second marriage. Ooh, he got married again. So is it Carolingian? So would we, if when when Queen Elizabeth dies and Prince Charles becomes king, are we going to enter the Carolingian era? Or what's the Charles? What's because you got Edwardian, you got Georgian. I think it's Caravaggio? No, I don't know. Someone tell me in the chat, but you got to be quick because I'm going in a minute and I'll be back tomorrow at 12 o'clock, which is okay. Alistair Campbell to Boris Johnson at the last question time. Comb your hair, take a knee and fuck off. That would be fantastic. I don't think Alistair Campbell gets to say things to Boris Johnson. But yes, that would be fantastic. We're all plugged in. It will be the age of the Borg, and resistance will be futile. Okay, right. Thank you very much for joining me. It's been fantastic. Thank you so much for all the super chats, and I'm going to try and do as many shows as I can over the summer. Normal service will be resumed in September. No, it won't. I'm going to fucking Panama. But yeah, I'll try and do as many live shows as I can. So if I'm at home, I will do a live show. Now, they might be at 1 o'clock. They might be at 10 o'clock. The only way to know for sure is by keeping an eye on my Twitter account, because I'll try and tweet to let people know. Either keep an eye on my Facebook account, facebook.com/thatgingerscouser, not hard to find. But also, if you go to your subscriptions. If you subscribe to this channel, click on the bell notification icon. It'll tell you when I'm going live. And I give you a 5-minute lead in, so you won't miss anything if you're late. Carolingian says Chocks. I knew there was a proper word for it. Carolingian, the age of the Charles. That's a bit of a weird one, isn't it? Cavill comes from Charles. Thanks for a great stream, says Steve C. Thank you very much for watching. And sorry for not talking too much about politics today, but I've got to think about my blood pressure. How about putting the timing details on your YouTube community page? That's a good idea, actually. I forgot that was there. Is that about the TV show Community, or is that... No, okay. Is this your last show, says Kevin Hegarty? No, I'll be back tomorrow. Will you do a show from Ginger Island? Yes, Charlie. Have you just arrived? Thank you very much for the super chat, by the way. Yes, so Charlie, when Marcus and I get to Ginger Island on September the 11th, 2021... Jesus. We will be doing, we'll be hitting the ground running, and we'll be doing Ginger Vision. So all day we'll be having cameras running, filming what we're doing, filming our conversations, filming what we're building, what we're making, what we're creating, what we're destroying, what we're digging, what we're planting, what we're singing, what we're drinking, everything. Right, everything. It will just be covered pretty much, except for our ablutions, obviously, because no one wants to see that. So, and then at 4 o'clock every day local time, which will be 10 o'clock British time, we will be doing a show for 1 hour, which will recap everything that we've done that day, and we'll be encouraging everyone to take part in that and give super chats and give their opinion on things. And we'll also be running daily competitions for you to get involved in what we're doing on Ginger Island. So loads of exciting shit coming your way. And we might talk about Brexit a little bit, but it will mostly be living on a tropical island that's really, really goddamn hot and trying to fix things. It's going to be more Castaway than Necker Island or something. It's going to be more sort of Lost than I'm trying to think of an island that's like amazing. Atlantis. Oh no, that's sank. Carolingians were the descendants of Charlemagne. Well, there you go. September the 11th, 2021. That's just 2 months away. Tension rising. Big event. Yeah, you know what, Cash Dummy? It's 20 years on, and there's still people who honestly believe that it was all a hoax. And you're just like, oh my God, how much would it cost to keep everyone quiet for that long, for 20 years? To find someone who's so immoral that they will kill their own people, but also not complain about the money that you give them and go, yeah, this is enough. We see people like Jeff Bezos. No money is enough. No money is enough for him. So if you had one person involved in the conspiracy who was a bit like Jeff Bezos and said, I'm going to tell everyone I've got all this evidence here that it was all fake, how much money would it cost to shut him up? And I suppose you could shut him up for good, but there'll be more than one of them. Don't forget, these people are scumbags. They orchestrated a thing that killed 3,000 of their own country people. I mean... Or it could have been the Saudis. Occam's razor, it was the fucking Saudis. Our allies, because we like selling them fucking weapons. There's the conspiracy, right there. Selling them weapons. Follow the money, follow the money, Follow the money. Lord of the Flies Island. Yes, more. It's going to be more Lord of the Flies than Lord of the Rings. Okay, that makes no sense. Right, I'm going to love you and leave you, and I will be back tomorrow at 12 o'clock because you asked for it, so I'll be back for Prime Minister's Questions. I'm going to be working in the garden all morning, so I might be a bit hot and sweaty when I come on for it. But, I'll have a little towel next to me or something so I can just wipe my forehead every few minutes. But yes, so I'll see you then. 12 o'clock? Yeah? Sound good? Sound good? Okay, let's do it. 12 o'clock tomorrow, Prime Minister's Question Time, the last one of the season, last one of the term, before we break up for the summer holidays. And I will see you there. Until then, hello, good evening, welcome, and goodbye. I didn't press the button. Hello, good evening, welcome, and goodbye. Oh, Marcus has turned up. Marcus, answer your phone, mate. Answer your phone. I'll see you on Discord. Go over to Discord. I'll see you there. Bye. Oh, hang on. I have to bring up the Patreon screen again. Oh, really need the producer. Bye.